Good morning, everybody. This is Mark Mix, and we are officially live with the webinar. Look great in the inbox. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am coming to you live from Long Beach, California, and we've got a whole bunch of people on the call. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Welcome to April, welcome to Benjamin, welcome to Beverly, welcome Brandon, Carlos, Christy, Courtney, David, Deanna, Dorian, Gwen, Jessica, Karen, Kathleen, Kylie, LJ, Lynn, oh, another Lynn, Marcy, oh, two Marcys too, Neil, Rochelle, Shelley, Cynthia, and a whole bunch of people coming in. And good morning to you. Hey, Kathleen Reeder, yay! Coming from, golly, Prescott, Arizona, I forget the exact city. But Kathleen is a longtime fan. Yay, Peoria. Yeah, I was wrong. So thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. And if you're just tuning in right now, you just missed it. We just provided you the meaning of life. Oh, man, that was your bonus. So if you weren't paying attention, oh, rats. This is a live webinar on how to look great in the inbox. And people are still coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited that you guys are here. I know you have choices in your life of how to spend your time, and you chose to spend a little bit of time with me this morning. So I appreciate that. And I always set an expectation that I am going to overwhelm you. I'm going to give you way too much stuff. Because you know what? Better I give you too much stuff than not enough, right? And don't worry about it, because if you miss something, you will get a recording of this live webinar sent to you in a thank you message from me at 10:10 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's 10:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time. And in that welcome message, in that thank you message, you will get a link to the recording of this webinar. So take some good notes, find some nuggets of gold, but you know what? Realize that you don't need to write every single word. You'll have this as a resource for you. Because if anybody who has been in a workshop with me, if anybody who has done coaching with me, if anybody has been to a keynote, I really set that expectation to provide you too much. I want to provide you too much value. This is me right here. I'm Mark Mikelat. You can laugh a lot, you can learn a lot with Mikelat. And this webinar today is sponsored by a company by the name of Constant Contact. Constant Contact is a provider of email marketing and social media marketing services for small business. And I'm a strategic partner with Constant Contact. I have my own practice called Building Aspirations, because I sincerely believe with every fiber of my being that's what you need to do. You need to build your aspiration in life. You need to take what empowers you, what you're excited about, what motivates you, what keeps you going in the morning, what keeps you alert in the tough times, and infuse that into your business. And one of the ways you do that and keep going and keep being successful is with systems that are effective, systems that work. I mean, it's great to put in effort, but if you're putting in effort in the wrong direction or the wrong way, oh, it just doesn't work. Well, so today we're going to direct that effort towards really good looking, really effective email marketing. That's what we're here today, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I've been doing email marketing consulting for, well, golly, do the math, 20 plus years, I think since 1995. So there's probably not an email marketing situation that you can come up with that I don't have a good answer for. And the first thing that we talk about is the idea of first impressions. Because first impressions really do matter in your marketing. And visuals have a big part to play in that. And some of you have frustration with this. You really don't appreciate it. There's a difference between a weed and beautiful flowers, right? And the metaphor works for your email marketing. And do you get too much email? Yeah, I get too much email too. But and people always say that, oh, I get too much email. Well, email marketing works. Don't even take my opinion. Okay, just go online. Study after study after study, research after research has proven that it works. And I've been in this area for 20 years, and it so frustrates me when somebody says, "Oh, I get too much email." Well, that's your individual opinion. Okay, isn't it better to go by substantiated fact? And the fact is, email marketing is an extremely cost-effective way to do your marketing. But some of you misunderstand what it is. Okay, it is not the example on the left. It is the example on the right. I mean, the one on the left, I mean, that's an email. This is maybe you inviting people to your barbecue, right? You're not going to impress anybody. And you know what? Maybe not even that. Because think about it. If you're inviting friends to your barbecue, there's still competition in the world. They may have another barbecue. They may have another event. They may want to stay home. They may not be excited about your barbecue. You need to market to them, even if it's just a simple barbecue. So you need to do that in a visually powerful, effective way. Marketing. The one on the right is an example of a crisp, clean, effective, professional looking, visually branded email marketing message that is effective. Here's what we're going to talk about today. Here's the general agenda. And we're coming from a negative angle today. Normally I'm an extremely positive person, but today we're going to talk about the don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do this. And we're going to go through 7 specific don'ts. Because sometimes it's easier for people to see a bad example and learn to avoid it rather than give kind of a general good example and hope that they can figure out how to implement it. So we're going to talk about these 7 don'ts. And we're going to start with an example every time. So let me walk through. Let me start at the very tippy top with the idea of branding. Don't forget your branding. Now this is the example that we're going to go with. Okay, let's pretend you're Half Moon Yoga Studio. We're going to go through what the branding looks like in these email marketing messages. Okay, the not to do example is on the left. The good to do example is on the right. So branding in general. Let me give you the highlights right here, and then we'll get into the details. First of all, look at the tippy top. What do you see at the top? What do you see at the top left, more specifically? Okay, if you're confused by the question, Mark, I don't see anything. Yeah, that's exactly my point. In the United States, we read left to right, top down. So the most important real estate, it's called real estate, a section of your email campaign is going to be in the top left-hand corner. I call this 1-second marketing. Here's my point with 1-second marketing. If you have my attention for 1 second, what will you market to me? Probably your logo. If I can remember one thing about your business, the logo. Okay? Now they didn't put it on the don't example. Remember, don't is on the left. On the don't example, there's nothing there. They kind of squeeze it to the right hand. Okay? Now in the right hand, the better example, see the logo is dominant. It's in the middle, Half Moon Yoga Studio. Okay. Now it's not. You could put it on the left, but in this case they put it in the middle. Okay, but putting it on the right and making it smaller, no, that's not what you want to do. Now also notice that it's just overall cleaner. Okay, just like when you walk into a store. Okay, even if they sell awesome stuff in the store, if you walk into that physical store and it looks cluttered or disorganized, right, you get a negative vibe right away. You want it to look clean. You want it to look professional. Clean, professional, crisp. Okay? Now also, notice that in the very middle, there's a big old fat purple button. Because I'm an extremely practical individual. and I want you to get results. And that means you have to have a very dominant, a very prominent call to action. The call to action is the button that's going to be in the middle of your email. So it's very easy for people to see. Okay, why is it purple? Because nothing else in the email is purple. So it's contrasted. Should it always be purple? We'll get to that. Okay, so don't do on the left, do on the right. Now, when you send it out, you have to remember that I want you to be recognized. Your email marketing is going to go all over cyberspace. And what this means is if I get your email and I forward it to some friends or I post it on Facebook, does your branding go with it? Does your marketing value go with it? Okay, does it stand alone and explain everything about your business? Some of you might be falling down right away because you might be sending this from Jennifer123 at hotmail.com. And you know what? Unless you're really known in your business as Jennifer123, that's not going to work. I set the expectation in the beginning of this webinar that you will get an email from me, Mark at buildingaspirations.com tomorrow morning. I'm Mark, and Building Aspirations is the name of my company. So my brand, bam, is in the email right away, okay? So your overall branding. And this is hard for some small business owners. You understand the general concept, but you can't see the forest for the trees. You're literally staring at the tree. You can't see the forest. You know your business. I don't know your business. And I've had people who tell me to come to an event and then don't give me the address of the event because they know where their store is, right? Oh, everybody knows the address. No, 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 no. That's part of your overall brand. Okay, here's some great examples. Okay, your overall branding. Notice the visuals. Okay, even if you can't read all the text, even if you can't see everything, it still works. So visual now, and there's more than just visuals to your branding. It has to do with the logos and taglines and everything else. You always want to use very consistent visuals and language all throughout because I'm not paying attention. We are very short-term oriented. We're not paying attention. But I explained the instructions. It doesn't matter. I'm going to skim it, right? So you need to stay top of mind. And that means that there's 9 gajillion things in my brain. You need to grab 5, 10, 20 seconds of my time so that you can stay on top of my memory. And the way you do that is with good visual branding. So your overall branding, that's the first don't versus the do, okay? Now, hard to read fonts, okay? And you don't even understand, oh my gosh, fonts, people just have an emotional reaction to fonts. Holy moly, one of the things I do is I help people publish their books. Oh, actually, Kathleen is on the line today. I actually helped her publish her book a couple years ago. You don't even know like how people react to fonts. Holy moly bajoli. Not only do they need to be the right type of font, but they need to be easy to read. Because a good number of these people are going to read these emails on a mobile device, probably a smartphone, 51% of the people. And it's going to be small, right? So, but like, how big and what design and what should that look like? Okay, we'll walk you through some of the specifics. See, they're all different types of fonts. And here are just some different types of fonts here. And there's 2 general classifications of fonts. They're called serif fonts and sans serif fonts. Okay, now sans is a Latin phrase meaning without. And I'd like you to think of a serif as a little curly Q, a little tick mark, so to say, a little flourish. So notice at the bottom of that A right there, those are serifs. They're circled on the screen. Those are little tick marks. Okay, now that type of font, a serif font with the little curly cues, with the little tick marks, work well for printed material, but they're not the best for online. It's harder for the brain to capture this information. you want to use a sans serif font. It's just easier to read. The most obvious ones, or the most common ones, are Arial, Helvetica, and Verdana. Okay? So general, you want to make it easy for people to read your information. And then don't use a whole lot of fonts. Okay? Because some of you think, oh, I'll get their attention with a whole bunch of different fonts and different sizes and everything else. What you're doing is you're distracting me. Because if there's too much to figure out on your campaign, my brain will give up. Okay? Because I'm skimming this. Okay, I'm not reading every single word. I might be on my phone, and you know what? I'm in line at Starbucks, and I got another 8 messages, and I got 10 minutes before I grab my coffee. Got to be at work. You see, so you have a limited amount of time, so you definitely do not want anything to distract me. So you probably want to choose one or two basic fonts. See, the one on the right, this is the one without the curly cues. You see, sans serif. And there's a slight diversion from that where it says featured destinations, where it's a little bit of calligraphy. Okay, but it's not overwhelming. You see, you just do enough to kind of have it stand out. But otherwise, it's very easy to read. And then the font size as well. You probably don't want to go any smaller than 12-point font. Okay, like if you're trying to squeeze in something in 8-point font, I appreciate your ingenuity, but that's just too small. I'm not going to be able to read it. Now, colors. You want to use the right colors as well. Colors are an important part of your branding. Now, notice the one on the don't. We've got a gray border. We've got some avocado-ish green. We've got a different shade of gray at the bottom. We've got black. So there's a lot of different colors there. And I bet you if I went to their website, we're not going to see these avocado greens, right? We're going to see a little bit of a light lime green like we see on the right. So be consistent with your colors. Whatever I see in your brochures, whatever I see on the website, that's what I should see in your email marketing. It builds rapport. It helps me build familiarity and trust with you. There is a reason that people know the Nike logo. There is a reason that people recognize the Coca-Cola logo. And we build familiarity with trust because of the sameness. Now, I've heard an argument from some small business owners that they get bored. They want to change it up. Okay, yeah, you want to change it up because you see your colors every day. I might see them once a month or 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, it's not about you, it's about me, it's about your target market. You need to build familiarity, and colors are part of that. They also help people make decisions. Sometimes people buy a product because of a color. And if you sell any type of thing with a similar product upgrade, then the most obvious one is clothing. People are most likely to buy and upsell that object, that item of the same color. Meaning that, okay, if they buy a black sweater, the most likely upsell is a white sweater, the same item, just a bit different color. It increases brand recognition, and just as a little bit of piece of trivia, 40% of people say that their favorite color is blue. Now, we're talking about marketing, so it's not your favorite color. It's their favorite color, your target market. What's most important to them? And colors have emotional meanings associated with them. Yellow, optimistic. Red is energy. Blue is trust. Green is wealth and relaxation. Orange is aggressive. Black is kind of sleek, is more feminine. And purple is relaxing. So you need to pick a color scheme that matches your overall marketing message. For example, if you're promoting your massage package, you're not going to promote it in red. Get a relaxing massage, because the red gets people excited, right? When you want them to be relaxed about the massage, okay? So colors have some symbolic, even scientific meaning behind them. Now, this is me talking, and it has to be me talking. We can't open up the lines because then there's a lot of static and dogs barking and things in the background. But that doesn't mean that it's just me. Hey, April liked a point. Thanks for the encouragement, April. I appreciate it. It's not just me talking. I want you to participate, and you have a little chat box. So as we're going along, and there's still tons of information here, add some questions along the way, and we'll make sure to address them as we go. A lot more. And then towards the end, I know some of you need expert advice. Even though I'm going to give you some great content, you still need more. And then there'll be a little bit of an invitation at the end for more help if you need more help. So add those questions in the chat box as we go along. Now, a little bit more about the colors. Mark, I can't read the slide. Okay, that's kind of the point, folks. Some of you try to be so fancy schmancy, it's counterproductive. I once, if I'm lying, I'm dying, this actually happened to me. I once had a person give me a black business card at an event, at a networking event, with their name on it in a slightly different shade of black. And then they were bragging, see, if you tilt the card like this, you can read it. Okay, you're literally making it harder for me to read your name, and you're excited about that? I'm sorry, people. That strategy needs to be adjusted. I need to be able to read the information. Okay? So avoid extremely bright color combinations. Like here are some examples. If you can't read them, like I said, that's exactly the point. Okay? Orange on top of neon yellow, no, it's not going to work. And also textured backgrounds, because it makes it hard for me to see the text on top of the textured background. And just too many colors, just don't do it. What you want to do is have contrast. Now, sometimes people ask me, well, what colors should I use? Okay, the exact color combination is going to be dependent upon some demographics of your target market, but the general rule of contrast is dead on for everybody. Most obvious is white on black. That's total contrast, okay? Now, if the rest of your message is black and white, that might not be contrast, right? Then you might want to do white on top of blue, because blue is the only thing in your message that is the button. The blue button is the only thing that's blue in your message, so it stands out. Okay, I told one of my networking one of my clients the other day was going to a networking event, and I told him to carry something into the networking event. I told him exactly what to carry, and I explained why he should carry that, because he'll be the only person carrying this thing at the networking event. He stands out. Same thing with this call to action button. You want to stand out. Now also, don't be disorganized. We want you to make sure that this looks professional. Okay, so the one on the left, okay, first of all, it's multiple column. Okay, if you're not clear on multiple column, it just means that there are two columns of information. Now, that might be okay if it's a magazine or a newspaper, but if more than 50% of the people are going to be viewing this on their phone, you're kind of cutting the screen in half. And if you do 3 columns, oh my gosh, you're cutting it in thirds, right? You're making it very difficult for me to read the information. I'll have to zoom in and zoom out to actually read it. So you probably want to do single column, like the one on the right. Oh, but how do you do that? Now, if you're not familiar with email marketing or constant contact in general, I'm showing you constant contact examples. And there are, golly, I'm going to say maybe 500 templates. I don't even know, a lot. So if you want a Valentine's Day template, if you have a accounting practice, exercise studio, I mean, all different types, all different themes, and you just find the one that works for you, and you look for the little indicator that says it's mobile friendly. You want to be mobile friendly, single column. Now, there are different types of campaigns you can send out, and when you send out the information, I really want you to be market focused. I want you to think backwards from the market. What is important to them? Now, I know you want to sell. I get it. You're in business, of course, okay? But if you're just selling, that's overwhelming. Here's a general rule of thumb. 80-20. 80% of the time, it's about me, the reader, the email subscriber. 20% of the time, it's about you, the business. So you can pitch, you can market aggressively, not aggressively, assertively, 20% of the time. 80% of the time, it's about me. You're educating me. So you're telling me about the benefits of your new product. You're telling me about the benefits of your fundraiser. You're telling me how I can have fun at your event. Let me show you some examples here. Now, these are 3 different examples for different business models. We have a business to consumer, we have a nonprofit example, and then we have business to business. Now, notice the one all the way to the left. Okay, this is a jewelry supplier, okay, or spoiled rotten beads specifically. Now, notice that there's a lot of visuals on there. Now, I'll leave it up to you to decide if that's too many visuals. I think it's too many, but the true answer is really going to come from your market. If this works for your target market, great. Okay, you want to give people some choices, some visuals, but too many visuals actually will confuse them and prevent a decision. Okay, now the one in the middle, kind of a little bit in the a share between the visuals and the text. Okay, this is a little bit more of a newsletter, what's going on with the not-for-profit. What I really like about this one is that they have 2 uniquely distinct calls to action. Notice at the very, very top, there's an orange button that says donate. Okay, because if you're a not-for-profit, what do you want people to do? You want people to donate. So bam, they put it right there, right? And then they have a nice warm smile from the regional manager there, a little bit of a story, and then if you want to read more about the story, you click the button that says read more, and it goes to the website. Because remember, not everybody's going to read every single word, people are going to skip it. But if someone's really excited about this charitable organization, they want to read more, right? So allow and enable them to read more. But if you put all the stuff in the email, no, you can have comprehensive stuff on your website, just not in your email. It's meant to be a short, concise, specific message. Now, the one on the right, that's all text. Now, this is bookkeeping. Okay, so personally, right, I wouldn't dig this, but wait a minute, if these people are accountants and they're used to reading the detailed information, okay, you're being responsive to your market, maybe it's okay. So the key point here is that all different designs, and none of these are right or wrong, they're all specific to your target market. So you have to understand what you're communicating, how you want to communicate it, and the characteristics of that market, and then execute accordingly. But let me point out that they still all have visuals, right? They still all have the logos at the top. So they're still all what are called above the scroll. They kind of all fit on one screen. So remember, we're talking about being organized. So they still all follow best case practices of being organized. Now, images. Okay, we've given you some examples about the images, but let's go a little bit deeper into the whole idea of images. What should they look like, and what are the best case practices? Okay, what not to do versus what to do. Some general highlights. First of all, I have to be able to see the image. Okay, now if I'm viewing this on my phone and I can't see all of the detail in your photo, it didn't work. Okay, now you have a good logo and you understand the value of the logo. Does your logo work when it's the size of a quarter on my phone? And some of you may have really detailed information. You try to squeeze in a tagline in your logo or something, and it may show up as a black squiggly line on my phone. Maybe not the best. So they have to be the right size, and they really have to convey your business. And there's a visual is worth 1,000 words. Absolutely. Now notice on the do example, I just have the one visual. Bam, concise, specific, okay? And you can argue that the logo is a visual too, okay? But you're not overwhelming me, okay? Because if you give me 19 different things and I've got 20 seconds to read your email, confusion is the result, okay? There's like too much. It's like too much clutter. We have a question here from Alex about black and white versus colored backgrounds. Really, I want the background to be consistent with your overall branding. So whatever the branding looks like on your website, that's probably what you want the background to look like. That's really the key. And if you want to play around with the colors a little bit, you could test it. Maybe if you use, let's just say, black and grays on your website, maybe you want it to try one design to half your list and then a second design to the second half of your list. That's called A/B testing or split testing. When we're talking about the visuals, I want you to look at the example on the right, okay, Bicycle Adventures. And imagine that you do not read English. It still works. Okay, you see the visual, you get it. So in just, bam, 1 second, you kind of understand what the company is about. Bicycle vacations, bicycle tours, bicycle wilderness. You might not know exactly, but you still get it, okay? And then if they're engaged with the picture, you have a little bit about it, right? March Madness, $100 off June tours, right? So let me give you even more specifics about this. You can really ramp it up by using video. Ho, 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 ho. Now notice the example on the right, very little text. How could you be successful with so little text? You have an embedded video. The video is in your email. Now, when I say in the email, you are embedding a link. Okay, so somebody clicks on this link and the video will start playing on their device. Best case strategy, you want to host this video on YouTube and then share the link in the email. And don't worry about it. I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to do this. Well, if you can find the button that says insert video, you know how to do this. And then you just put it in there. Now, the typical person might not read your email for 2 minutes, but they might watch a video for 2 minutes if it's interesting, intriguing, and is appropriate to them. Now also notice the visuals at the top. Remember 1 second marketing? Excuse me. We have the logo in the top left-hand corner. Now, that's 1 second marketing. Now, if you have 3 seconds to market to me, that's the right-hand corner. Okay, 1 second, you got me with the logo. Now, if you have a couple more seconds, what other visual are you going to use? Okay, and here they're talking about a specific program, the 1 Million Good Nights program. Now, in my opinion, the text in that graphic is too small, okay? But use this as a metaphor for you. Use this as an example for you. What can you put in the right-hand corner if you have 2 seconds? I, as a general idea, would probably say your phone number, your address, your tagline, as a general idea, okay? And then if you can do that as a visual, you can convey more information even more quickly. Now, I've got a lot of resources for you on my blog. If you go to buildingaspirations.com/blog and search for 83 sites, I actually give you 83 resources for photos. And I explain the rules because you can't just find a photo and use it. That actually may be intellectual property theft, okay? What are the copyrights associated with this photo? And we all share this blue planet together, so make sure that we're fair to everybody. I don't want you stealing anybody's photos. Now, there's also stock photos actually in Constant Contact. Some people don't know this, and it's in your library. You just click on the button that says stock images, and then you can search. Some of them are $1, some of them are $5, $8. Obviously, the the better quality are more expensive. And then there's plugins that can connect you to social media. Maybe you load a lot of photos on your Facebook. Maybe you load a lot of photos on your Instagram. Okay, you can connect there and import them directly into Constant Contact. Now, remember to make it shareable. What does shareable mean? Shareable means I want your campaign, I want your email to be like a good joke. A good joke gets shared. When you hear a good joke, what is the very first thing that you do? You say, oh, I gotta remember this to share it, okay? So there are links and buttons, tools you can plug in directly in your email to allow and enable people to share this. That enables word of mouth marketing or referral marketing. This is called a social share bar. Notice that in the example, it's in the oranges box right there. These little buttons will show up at the top. You configure this in the title section of your email. So now, I get your email and I want to share it with my friends on Facebook. I literally can do that with a click of a button. Bam. Okay, oh, free shipping? Oh my gosh, my friends need to take advantage of the free shipping. I send your email to my Facebook friends with a click of a button. And the average Facebook person has 355 friends. So that's where the figure at the top comes from. If you use this button appropriately, you can get increased exposure by an additional 58%. So you'll get your standard click-throughs and another 58% in click-throughs from the social share button. Now, you can also schedule these shares. There's a social share scheduling tool. So in this example right here, we're going to say, okay, we're going to email our database, but we're also, I don't know, 2 days later, 3 days later, going to post this promotion on Facebook. And then we say what the title is in the little box, and then we can change the photo if we want, and then there's a little calendar. We pick the date and time we want to post this. And then when we post, it looks something like this. And there's a preview button to make sure that the graphics show properly and the title shows properly. So this is another way to propagate your email marketing message. If you have a great promotion to share in your email, let's share it to your fans on Facebook as well. And then once it's on Facebook, one of your fans may want to share it with their friends. Once again, I want your marketing to be like a good joke. I want it to be shared. Now, still a whole lot more to come. Mobile marketing, right? We want to be mobile friendly, which means we want to make sure that your campaigns show up properly on a mobile device. Here's one thing that's sacrosanct. Please don't forget this. Above the scroll. Notice on the do example on the right, we've got the purple button above the scroll. That means the bottom of the phone. Okay? Now, of course, yeah, somebody can scroll and see a button if it goes off the screen, but remember, we're not paying attention, we're not reading everything, it's got to be super duper obvious. So if I want to promote my summer yoga class schedule and I want people to do something, what do I want them to do? I want them to sign up today. So I want to make it as easy as I can for them to sign up today. And that button, when they click, that's going to go to your registration page, payment page, you know, whatever makes sense for your business. Now, you got to make sure that this shows properly. If the pictures are too big or the text is too big, it's going to look kooky. Okay, and remember the tiny fonts, okay? 12-point font or bigger is probably what you want. And remember, not multiple column, probably single column. Keep it simple. You know, a lot of my clients, oh, this is so frustrating for them. They want to squeeze in a whole lot of information. They want to kill their market with over information. Well, maybe if I just tell them one more thing. No, 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 no. Here's what you should do. Figure out what you want to say, cut it in half, and cut it in half again. I'm not even exaggerating. Figure out what you want to say, cut it in half again. Notice the example on the right. Logo, picture, one sentence, date and time, bam, quick, easy peasy, right? That's actually really good email marketing. But they didn't say anything. Once again, concise, specific, to the point. People are not paying attention. You're awesome, you're a rock star, but I'm not hearing what you say. I'm distracted by 9 gajillion other things. Okay, so really to the point. Less is definitely more. Okay, don't make the pictures too big, and there's a preview button in Constant Contact. And I also would encourage you to have a little bit of a quality assurance test for yourself. Maybe you've got half a dozen employees. This person has a tablet. This person has an iPhone. This person has an Android. Something like that. Just because it works pretty well and it's tested, and 200 or 600,000 people are using Constant Contact worldwide. I think it's even more than that. But it's software, right? Every once in a while there's a little whoop-de-doo. So we want to make sure that you just test it, make sure that everything looks okay. Easy to read. Bam. See, this is a really good example here because you get the visual right away, 1 second marketing, and then you have the register button right there. Easy peasy. And there's also apps for the phone that actually help you do this on the phone. And actually, one workshop, a gentleman was sharing a story about, and maybe you shouldn't have shared this, but he was in the hospital with his wife. And his wife was in labor, and the labor was very long. And he said, I didn't say this, he said, oh, I was bored waiting. So he did an email marketing campaign in the waiting room or in the lobby of the maternity ward. It's just, I appreciate that expression of how easy Constant Contact is and how you can use the app, but maybe that was a little bit of an overshare. Now, I hope you enjoyed some information, and I know some of you are beginners, and the best thing about being a beginner is that it's obvious what you need to do. You just need to get started. So the way you get started is you go to buildingaspirations.com/constant-contact. That's buildingaspirations.com/constant-contact. I just shared the link with you in the chat box. Just go there, click on the I'm Ready button, and you can get started with Constant Contact for as little as $20 a month. So it's very cost effective, and like I said, 650,000 people are using it. And if you truly are a true beginner, I can offer you a special bonus. But you need to commit by 5 o'clock today because life just moves pretty quick, and we won't be able to research this after the fact. You need to be able to commit by 5 p.m. today. Sign up. Tell us that you are a true beginner, and we will do your first email campaign for you. I mean, it's going to have test content. We'll say add promotion here, but we'll create the layout for you and make it look very visually stunning. That typically is a $250 value, but because I'm a strategic partner, I can offer that to you. And April asked a question about the cost for Constant Contact. Well, Constant Contact costs $20 a month, but it's if you're truly dissatisfied, there's a money-back guarantee, and very seldom do people trigger that. But if it's not a match for you, you can quit and just get your money back. It's $20 per month, and you can quit at any time. Now, if you have been using email marketing or think that you have some skills here, but just need kind of to ramp it up a little bit, but you really don't know how. Mark, I need some help, but I don't know what type of help. Let me direct you to the web page here, and you can also schedule an appointment with me. I just gave you the link to my mentoring program if you're excited about how I might be able to help you. But, let me give you something a little easier. I can just give you the link to an appointment right here. It's buildingaspirations.com/appointment. That's buildingaspirations.com/appointment. And if you go there and click there, you go to an online calendar, just find the section that says complimentary phone appointment. schedule an appointment. And then you have the opportunity to have a call with me, no cost, no obligation call, to learn a little bit more about how I can help you with your business. I'll ask you some very poignant questions about what your marketing challenges are, and then we'll figure out how I can help you. Marcy asked a question about how the fee is for Constant Contact. It's $20 a month for 500 contacts or less, and you could send out as many emails as you want. Okay, so if you want to send out an email week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and it makes strategic sense for your business, that's totally fine. It goes by the size of your email marketing database. So yeah, it works. It works great as you grow. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Marcy. So if you have more questions, if you need a little, and April confirmed, can you cancel at any time? Yep, you can cancel at any time. And I think oh golly, um, people sometimes cancel, but it's mostly not due to the software. It's due to their business changes, or they have different staff requirements or something like that. But yeah, you can definitely cancel at any time. So any more questions, set that appointment with me and I will be happy to address those for you. I thank each and every one of you for being here today. I know you have choices in how to spend your time. Your time is precious. You could be spending it doing other things in your business. You could be spending it on the beach, but you chose to spend a little bit of time with me. And thank you. April just thanked me. I thank you right back, April, for being here. And thank you all for being here. Remember, the follow-up email from me will come at 10:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time, tomorrow morning from Mark at buildingaspirations.com. It will have the link to the recording here. And this is Mark Mikelat from Building Aspirations with a final thank you, and I will see you on the next webinar.